Good morning, Bucs fans. What is up? It's your boy AJ Turnup. We are here with the Bucs Report pregame show this morning. I hope y'all doing all right. And also, please be sure to stay tuned into the aftermath on 102.9 The Game Broad Street South Radio. First, before we get into anything, we got to give a shout out to Coach Primetime Deion Sanders for another electrifying win this Saturday. Thank you for allowing me to be excited about college football again. I haven't felt this way since the glory University of Florida days. But before we even get into that, I want to send a special message to Coach Norvell. Since you like talking to grown-ups, how about this? As the coach used to say, why don't you go and sit down somewhere and stay out of grown folks' business? Because obviously you can't handle it. Obviously you lack discipline and honor, because the attitude reflect leadership, and the leadership that was shown on that field with your players was described one word, and that's dirty and hating. Again, you need to go sit down somewhere and look in the mirror and reevaluate yourself. Worrying about another man and what he does. Go sit down in the corner. And like my man Deion said, the way that you was coming off with that energy, you acting like that he wasn't raised right. Just because you can't match his energy with his results, that does not give you the right to go out there and talk that garbage. And that's why you lost, because your team played without composure. Your team played without character. They played without unity. Their only issue, they only wanted to come out there and shut a team up and try to humiliate them and be dirty. But again, the ball don't lie. I know that's basketball reference, but it can also be reciprocated to football. That's what you get. Prime held his composure, and young Prime. And when I mean young Prime, I'm talking about his son. When he lost Hunter on that dirty shot by Blackburn, number 11, which he should have been ejected. And I hope the NCAA further investigates and makes sure that he at least gets suspended, because that was a despicable act on a player like that. It ain't done anybody. That's a despicable way of playing the game of football. Now, for people out there saying it's a rivalry, that was more than a rivalry. That was just blatant disrespect. I understand rivalries. I understand that things can get chippy. If you play it out there, or even if you play backyard football, you know that things can get chippy. But what you don't do is bring backyard garbage to the game where you're trying to hurt people. And that's why they kept getting all these penalties. And for the people out there, Colorado was only reacting to Colorado State's nonsense, because that's what upset them, because that's their brothers out there on that field. And when they're getting taken cheap shots, of course they're going to respond in a way. That's a reaction. That's their teammates. So, Norvell, I hope you understand that you need to go, Norvell, you need to go back somewhere and sit down and reevaluate yourself, because instead of coming out there to out-coach Prime, you want to get out there to be dirty. Because we already know if the shoe was on a different foot, Prime does that, he would get a lot of scrutiny and it'd be a distraction. Again, don't worry about what Prime is doing. His results are matching his energy. Prime is who he is, and he's going to continue to be that. And young Prime, again, had Brady-esque like energy. And prayers go out to Hunter. I hope that injury that he took, I hope that it's nothing too severe, and I hope he'll be able to get himself together. I understand, I think he's going to be out a few weeks, but again, prayers up to him. He didn't deserve that. And again, Blackburn, number 11, that was very dirty, and you should be ashamed of yourself. As a matter of fact, the entire Colorado State should be ashamed of themselves with those cheap shots. But you know what? In the end, you lost, and you should have lost. Now, again, let's go back to Prime. Go Buffs. Continue to do your thing. I hope the best for y'all against Oregon next week. But that's what it's about. Football. I love the fact that Deion kept his composure and he went out there and he won. Again, as long as the results are matching the energy and the wins keep stacking, I don't care what he does. Continue to do your thing, Prime. You've been doing it since the Florida State days. So it is what it is. But now that I didn't got that off my chest, let's talk about the main event today, guys. It is Football Sunday. The Buccaneers will be hosting the Chicago Bears. Now, on paper, the Bucs should win this game. It shouldn't be too difficult, but I don't think that the Bucs are going to be overlooking the Bears. Now, if this was the Bucs team from last year, I would say that, but I do like this energy that I sensed from the Vikings game. I sense that this Bucs team is aware that, hey, we cannot mess around anymore, guys. We cannot allow ourselves to become to the point to where we think we're so much better than another team. You got to get out there and handle your business. You got to get out there and understand, if you want to win this game, take this team serious. The Bears are a wounded animal right now because they're in panic mode already, because they can't afford to lose that many games, and they did not look so good against the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love carved them up. And I do think that the Bears are going to try to come out here and take the lead early. I do think I would not be surprised if they try to take deep shots just to keep the Bucs defense honest, because they want to do everything in their power not to go down to 0-2. But before I even get any further, I want to say hello to the guests. Bucs Rays Bolts, how you doing? Let's get this W today. Shout out to Christopher Cole. Morning, everyone. Dang, Kimmy checks from NFL Network is oh, Lord. Hey, I hear you, man. But yes, the Buccaneers are going to have to come out there and firing on all cylinders and take this game serious. And I told you, I think they will. Now, I want to break down the keys to the game on the offensive side first. The Bucs do need to establish that run. They need to establish it. Again, Buc fans, do not expect this same 2021. Don't expect this team offensively to be what the 2021 Bucs were when they played the Bears. It's not there yet. We need time to gel. The line needs to learn how to gel. The running backs have got to learn how to hit the holes properly. The receiver and Baker have got to get in more sync. So that is going to take time, Buc fans. I really hope that Buc fans, you have to be patient with this offense. As you already know, I guarantee you the Bucs defense, their defensive players are aware that the first 6 to 7 weeks they're going to have to help this offense and not mess up. So the pressure's on them, but I know that they can take it. But back to the offensive side, yes, establish that run. I hope Canales, if anything, mix it up with the running backs. I actually want to see Rachaad White be utilized more in the passing game, because he's really good at catching out of the backfield. And for the short yardage gains, I do like Tucker and Edmonds to go in there, rotate these guys and keep them fresh. But you want to establish that run, so when the Bears load the box, now you have Evans and Godwin and Palmer and Otten and Tompkins to make them pay for that. Because let's be real, the Bears defense, they're okay, but I don't see anything where I have to worry too much. Now, when it comes to the passing, I would like for Canales to establish rollouts and bootlegs, but more importantly, because of the receiving core that we have, I would like to see the Bucs use more crossing routes. Because crossing routes, if you go back to the game, to the Colorado State game in Colorado, the biggest thing that I will give to Dion is that they did not adjust nowhere fast enough for crossing routes. And that's why I tell people crossing routes can be very effective, especially if you have the weapons on offense to utilize it, because now you're putting the defense at a disadvantage of where they don't want to have to load the box, and in their mind they want to keep everything in front. But eventually that is what we call the death by 1,000 cuts, because eventually you're going to break. And it's going to tire your defense out, not just physically, but mentally, because that's where the big plays will come, because they're going to be so overzealous on stopping the play, where the big play, the guy runs deep and goes right past them anyway. So the Bucs can do that against the Bears. Get these crossing routes going. Utilize Palmer's 4.3 speed. You can put Godwin in the slot. Have Otten run up the seam, because he's a fluid runner. You have the tools to make this happen with the crossing routes. I really hope that they do that, because then you can set up the big plays, the big bombs, to where you can, again, Palmer can just do a simple go route and get past the corner that's guarding him, or more importantly, make the safety bite. And then that's when you can have under routes coming in, crossing routes, to be able to chip away. because I tell you guys again, this Bucs offense right now is not designed to just go up and down the field like we did on the Aaron's. This is a body shot, then a haymaker. We kind of offense. We want to run the clock out, bleed them dry, because what we want to do is keep our defense fresh. So if the offense can establish the run, get short passing plays going, and set up the big booms, it can happen. I believe in this offense to do that. And another thing, what makes this offense unpredictable and scary, Baker Mayfield can run the ball. We just saw against the Vikings what he can do. And that is what's going to scare this Bears defense, because now if Baker gets going, it's going to be hard for that Bears defense to stop our receiving core or Baker, because if it's a simple 3rd and 2, I guarantee you Baker is going to run it, and he's going to get that first down. And now the defense is going to have to watch him, which can make a linebacker be so focused on worrying about Baker that a receiver can get right through the cracks and get there. I really hope Canales also takes advantage when the defense is lined up to the point where the middle of the field is wide open, because I saw too many plays against the Vikings where if they simply can adjust the play and a receiver goes up the middle, it's over. A lot of those plays are touchdowns. And I think the Bears are going to do that. I honestly think the Bears are going to try to adapt what the Vikings were doing and blitz Baker a lot, because right now they still want Baker to beat them. And I want that too, because I think with the weapons that Baker has in Evans and Godwin, Baker will make you pay. Again, Baker is not a bad quarterback. I don't care what the media says about him. He is on a team. This is the best team that he has been on, and he will make it happen. I believe in him, but get that run going. I really would hope that at the end of it, the running game could get somewhere to 100 yards. But realistically, if White himself alone can at least get 50 to 65 yards, Tucker can get between 30 yards or whatever, I do think that will help this offense and keep them on the field a lot to burn out the defense, because we want the Bears defense to be exhausted by the end of the game. That is the key. And Christopher Cole says defense has to keep Fields in the pocket. I'm glad you're talking about that, Christopher. I'm about to go to the defensive side for the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers on defense, they do need to keep Fields established in the pocket, but also make him run to a side that he's not comfortable in. Make him run to a side to where if he has to throw the ball, it's going to be off his, like across his body or off his foot, where it's inaccurate. And that's where you're going to get the turnovers. And I think due to the weather conditions in Tampa with the rain, that's going to take a lot of effectiveness. That's going to take away from him running the way that he wants to do. We already know Justin Fields wants to win this game with his legs. We take that away from him, that we can do that. Now, with Carlton Davis being out, I was a little concerned because I'm not sold on Zion yet, but that just means the Bucs front seven needs to take care of business. That means, and also with Kancey being out, that means Shaq Barrett, JTS, Levante, Devin White, Vita Vea, Golston, Logan Hall. They're going to have to establish pressure to Justin Fields. Make him uncomfortable. Make him have to play an actual quarterback to win this game. As I said, blitz him to one side to where he just get overwhelmed. If this Bucs defense, if the Bucs are to blow this team out again, it will be because the defense will have so many turnovers. Because if Justin Fields cannot run the ball like he wants to, I do see at least 3 to 4 sacks coming from this Bucs defense. I do see 2 to 3 interceptions coming from this Bucs defense, because Justin Fields is going to panic and he's going to try to get the ball. He's going to try to get the ball out as fast as he can, and he's going to make a mistake and possibly not see a defender from the Bucs side, or he might just throw a simple bad pass. And I know in the past, the Buccaneers have had issues with running quarterbacks. We know this, but this is why it's imperative for this front seven to make it hard on Fields. If you need to run a little bit of zone coverage, so be it. I'm okay for that. I'm all right with that. But Bowles, we can't have this too much. You already know, guys. If you know about me already, I don't like this. But in this game, it might be necessary because if we play too much man, then he will run all over us. But like I said, with the rainy conditions, and if this Bucs defense, the front seven, establishes a lot of pressure, I don't see Justin Fields going off the way that he wants to. This defense can do so much damage if they get turnovers. If they can help the offense get on short fields, like always the 30 or 20-yard line, then I do think the offense can put up a lot of points. Now the offense should cash in on that. No field goals. I don't want to see a lot of field goals. I want to see touchdowns. I honestly do believe if this Buccaneers team can get between 10 to 13 points in the first quarter alone, the game will be over, because then Justin Fields is going to have to pass, and they don't have the receiving core to have a shootout with us. I like Moore, but I don't see Moore. I can see Dean taking care of Moore. I definitely can see Dean handling that. Winfield is going to be Winfield, but I want to see Shaq Barrett get some things going, and also I want to see JTS, because for Shaq Barrett, I want him to slowly get himself back and stay healthy. But JTS, you got to establish a lot of pressure. You need to get to the quarterback. Don't just rely on your speed. Sometimes bull rush. So you got to make it to where Justin is just uncomfortable. I want to see Yaya. I think Yaya can do a lot of things. This defense should be overwhelmingly good and defeat the Bears. Again, I do believe that this Bucs team they're not overlooking the Bears. I'm hoping, like I was telling you just a few minutes ago, that the Bucs defense say, okay, guys, let's put these guys away quick. Let's put them away so the Bucs offense can get us at least 10 to 13 points in the first quarter, because then by doing that, the Buccaneers defense can just pin their ears back and wreak havoc. Now, that is the key. So the key to offense is running, crossing routes, and creative deep passes. Defense, load the box, blitz Fields, make him run once to a side that he's not comfortable with, and just play with intensity and passion. This, again, nobody expected the Bucs to win against the Vikings. And as we can see, the Vikings have a lot of issues with turnovers. Now, this is one of the only few games, Buc fans, that the Bucs will be favored. So the Bucs definitely need to take advantage, because this is a team that's wounded, and this is a team that is going to be desperate. I really think that the Bucs are going to they're going to take this serious. They're going to go, you know what? We're not going to mess this game up. We're going to go in here and we're going to give them the business. And that's what I truly expect this Bucs team to do, because it doesn't get any easier. I would love to have the Bucs blow this team out, because then that would boost the confidence. And I know we're getting way ahead of ourselves, but we already know when it comes to the Eagles game, a lot of people are going to pick the Eagles. And as we've seen, the Eagles, they're not as strong as they were last season so far. As of right now, I'm not sold on the Eagles just yet. I'm not. I'm really not. The teams in the NFC right now, there's only two teams in the NFC right now that I go, okay, they're the ones that's legit after week one, and that's the 49ers, because they just took care of business against the Steelers, and the Cowboys. But I'm a little suspect about that, because they played the Giants, and we all know Daniel Jones is not good. They're going to be playing the Jets with Zach Wilson, so we'll see how that goes. So the Cowboys, like the Bucs right now, the schedule is in their favor. This Bucs team definitely needs to take care of business and put this team away. You put this team away early, you don't have nothing to worry about. You go in with the extra confidence. So that is what the Buccaneers definitely need to do. And for anybody else out there, if you have any other input that you would like to put on the screen and tune in, please do. I love to hear the Buc fans talk about who they think is going to have a good game, or what do you think is going to happen. So the people that I expect to go off today for the Bucs, believe it or not, I have Palmer and Otten are going off. I really do. The reason why I say that, because I think on defense, the Bears are going to focus on Evans. They don't want Evans to start to go off early. So I can see Evans getting doubled, but I can see Godwin still being very productive. But with Palmer, if they use his speed the right way, and especially, like I said, in the short and crossing routes, it can be a long day for this Bears defense, because this Bears defense is not designed to stop all these weapons. If they crash and try to blitz, I'm using Otten for middle passes because he has the speed and the size to get behind a linebacker, and he also has the size. He has the speed to get behind a linebacker, but he also has the speed, the size to knock over a safety. So with that being said, this Bucs offense just needs to like we did against the Vikings, drain the clock. The offense should at least try to always take between 5 to 7 minutes off the clock. If we can do that, that keeps the defense again fresh, and the defense is going to do their job. I'm not worried about this defense, but again, on offense, they're going to double. They're going to double Evans, of course. But I even still think that Evans, I'll say this, I think Palmer will have more yards this game, but I will not be surprised if Evans gets the touchdown or Godwin. But I really expect Palmer and Otten to have a good game today. Now, on the defensive side, I expect Devin White to have a good day. I really was very impressed with Devin against the Vikings. I think he's going to continue. I told people this already with Coach Slick on the Aftermath, that Devin is going to play his ass off to get the contract that he thinks he deserves, and that it works for us. I truly think he's locked in, and he's going to be a difference maker today. And also, Antoine Winfield is going to be, I think he's going to have another awesome game today, especially if he blitzes. Now, we got Jeff Olson in the house commenting, what's up? Bucs need to handle business today, dominate from start to finish, double digits victory. Jeff, I agree. I agree 100%. You get them early. Like I said, if you can get 10 to 13 points in the first quarter, the game's over. I say that because the Bears offense isn't designed to have a shootout and make comebacks. Moore is their biggest weapon, and Moore is not necessarily a deep threat kind of guy. He's that intermediate kind of guy. He can be. He's a yard after catch. He's a yak guy as well. So this is how I expect the Bears offense to go. They're going to establish some runs. They're going to do dink and ducks, especially if Bowles comes out with this cushion coverage, which I told y'all I don't like, but I get why he wants to do that, because he wants to test the receiving core out. He wants to check and see if what kind of routes they're going to run. But to be honest, I can see the Bears trying to run the ball as well, or for the most part, short dink and dunk passes, and they'll take a few shots here and there because, again, they want to beat the Bucs too. They want to really knock us off our hats so if we are down, because they know that this, in a way that the Bucs offense isn't on full cylinders just yet, they want their defense to overwhelm the Bucs offense. So that is why it is imperative for this Bucs offense to, when they are on the field, that they get points and they make it happen. And Christopher Cole says Vikings could be 1-7 or 2-6 and trade Cousins to the Jets. That's interesting. That's actually very interesting. I don't know if they would do that, though, because then if you trade Kirk Cousins, that kind of shows that you guys have already canceled your season, in my opinion, because if you're not going to get a quarterback that can replace Cousins and be better, now you're basically saying, yeah, we're done with this season already. So I don't know if they would send him to the Jets just yet, or to any other team, because if you don't find a quarterback that can replace Kurt and be better, then you're showing the organization that we're starting over at quarterback and the season's a wash. So I don't know about that, Chris, but that would be very interesting. And besides, Kirk Cousins is just going to be Kirk Cousins wherever he goes. But back to the Bucs, who I think on defense that will stand out again. I told you Devin White, Antoine Winfield. I do think Antoine, if they use him in the blitz packages, he's going to get another blitz and another sack. but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets an interception, especially if they bring him down into the box to where Justin might throw a short pass where he thinks he doesn't see Winfield, and Winfield just picks it off. And then I actually have Dean having a good day. I'm not worried about Dean on Moore because I do think that Dean, one thing I do love about Dean, he has the speed to keep up with almost any receiver in the league. He's really good at zone coverage. So he might back up one play, and where Fields thinks that the receiver's open, that's when Dean jumps the route. So that's what I'm saying. This Bucs team has so much talent to where this is a bad team you're playing. The Bears are not a good team, to be honest. Take care of them. Now, with the injury report, we know Carlton Davis is out, which sucks really bad. Canty is out. I'm saying his name wrong. I'm just going by what one of our other buddies call him. Ben calls him Savassier. Yeah, Savassier, Pastor Savassier. He is going to be out. But I think they promoted J.J. Russell from the practice squad. I do think that this Bucs defense is just they're too good to get beat by this Bears offense. The biggest threat, again, is just going to be Justin Fields using his legs. And if we continue to corner him to one side to where he is going to be uncomfortable, we got this game. The Bucs are good. Our run defense, I do think that this Bucs run defense is going to have another good day because we're going to load that box if necessary. And I don't see them having the running backs to handle us. I know a lot of people are high on the Bears running game, but not against this Bucs squad. This Bucs defense is, especially ever since Bowles has came to the Bucs, our first priority of business is stopping the run and making the quarterback beat you. We do that, Justin Fields is going to have a very, very, very long day. And I just see the Bucs just being a good team. If I get a score prediction, I would say I'm going to go with 27-9. I'm going to do that. I just see that. I just see the bend. We have the bend or break mentality to where the Bears will get down to our red zone, but they won't be able to cash in because that's typically when the Bucs defense is able to tighten up and make things happen. The bend no break mentality, as you all know, that's how Bowles likes to play. So I see the special teams doing a lot for the Bears, but I do see the Bucs getting touchdowns, a lot of them through short field possessions due to the fact that the defense taking the ball away with sacks. Like I said, I already expect 3 to 4 sacks from this Buccaneers defense. I expect at least 1 to 2 interceptions from Justin Fields because he's going to get antsy. He's going to get desperate. So I see the Bucs doing 27, and I see Palmer and Evans with a touchdown, maybe Godwin, but I see Baker throwing between 2 to 3 touchdowns today. I wouldn't be surprised if he runs one in, but I definitely see this team beating them because the Bucs have a sense of, hey, we're not going to let this team hang around. We want to take care of business. Now, I will not be surprised though if the Bucs blow them out and if the Bucs blow this team out, it'll be simply because the defense took care of business. So that is my take on this Bucs game today. If anything else, again, this is Bucs. This is the Bucs report post game, and you'll be seeing me again. Follow me more on the Aftermath on 102.9, the Game Broad Street South Radio, with my co-host, Coach Slick, a.k.a. the British guy who's always flying on standby. And for everyone else out there, if you would like to see me, you can always catch me on my own personal podcast. It's about Bucking Time. And also, if you want to, you can follow me on social media, on Instagram. AJ Turnup's my name. And if you check into the link, I have merchandise. You got to check it out because this is fly. So get you one. And let's get this win today, Bucs. I believe in this, Bucs. We will be fine. We will walk away from 2-0. We will be 2-0 after today. And as always, Go Bucs!